Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to be here together on this beautiful spring morning as we gather together in prayer and in celebration of Shabbat and in celebration of this community who has gathered today not merely for Shabbat but also to be present and to witness as Emma Cohen is called to the Torah as a batmitzvah. I know you're all here brimming with enthusiasm and joy and love. And so we want to ask everyone to strive to be fully present and to take a moment to eliminate distractions, including especially if you have a cell phone with you, we ask that you take a moment now to double check and make sure that it is turned off or silenced so it won't inadvertently disturb us during our worship together. We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 9 and begin in just a moment our service, as we have the privilege today in being led in worship by Emma Claire Cohen, who is known in Hebrew as Chava Shendel, Bat Chana Edo Vayishiyahu. Emma is the daughter of Jamie and Jason Cohen, the granddaughter of Denise and Mark Bernstein and Jolinda and Sanford Cohen, the sister of Morgan and Blake, and today Emma is our Shlichat Tzibur, the one who will lead us and guide us in our prayers and our worship and our study of Torah. It's a privilege to invite her forward now.
Please read with me on page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty
that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
We continue with Hine Matov on page 70.
Just take a tiny step so that we can put your microphones just a little bit closer to me. There you go.
We continue with the Barahu on page 195. Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Yotzer or v'vorei choshech, Oseh shalom v'vorei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'la'darim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mala ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titvarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifarucha selah, or chadash al Zion ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu mehera la'ora. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'olet.
We continue responsively on page 199. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways, and yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity.
We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael, ba'ava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai.
Please be seated.
I'm sorry.
My favorite prayer is the Ve'ahavta. I like it because it is one of my strong suits, and I also like the meaning behind it. Firstly, it tells us to love your God with everything you have. Sometimes it is hard to do this because some of our prayers haven't been answered. This may be a minor one, but when I was little, I used to pray that one day I would become a dance star. That clearly never happened because I can't dance and I can't even do a cartwheel. That was pretty frustrating at the time, but now I'm glad I didn't become a dance star. I would never have took on swimming and spent my summers full with swim meets and met my awesome swim friends. I think that God deserves a lot of love because after all, God did create us and this beautiful world. Secondly, it tells us to teach it to our kids. I think that my parents and Sunday school teachers have done a great job at doing this, and I will try my best to do the same with my future kids. That's in a long time. Lastly, it tells us to be holy to your God, and that I am Adonai your God, and that God led us out of Egypt. I think that we need to go to services and make sure we follow all the commandments. Ve'ahavta
Et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ובכל נפשכם.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, עושה פלא, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Ichamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah teilot, osei feleh.
Please rise for tefillah.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufiya Gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Kasei Avot ve'Imot, Umevi Geulah libnei bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshiach u'magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayeh hakol atah rav le'hoshiach, mechakel chaim b'chesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, umidom elah, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman natal le'achayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Page 209. We sanctify your name on earth even as all things, to the end of time and space, proclaim your holiness, and in the words of the prophet we say,
Holy, holy, holy is the God of all creation.
The whole earth is filled with God's glory.
Ekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו, מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Please be seated. Page 212. Please read with me. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. We praise you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otaha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. Please turn to page 216 and join in singing Sim Shalom, the song for peace.
Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova uvracha. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom Tova chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, amecha, sim shalom, tova uvracha, sim shalom, tova uvracha. We take a few moments now and pray silently. Page 219. Yihiu l'ratzon im refi v'hagyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri
Emma has led us in worship with great kavanah, with great presence and commitment this morning, and so too she now will become our teacher of Torah and help us to understand the words of the Torah for this Shabbat. And so we turn to page 245 for the service for the reading of Torah, Seder Kriyat Torah. In a moment when we open the Ark, we'll ask Emma's parents and grandparents to join us on the bima so that we can participate in a passing of Torah from generation to generation. But first we read together in the middle of page 245. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah. And let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udvar Adonai miYerushalayim.
And may you stand surrounded, embraced by people who love you, people who care about you, and people who are immensely proud of you and the person you are, and and all the things you do in your life that bring you meaning and make your life meaningful. And we're going to participate in just a moment in another of those things as we symbolically pass this scroll of the Torah through the generations of your family into your arms. And I know that that's a little frightening at times to think about because the scroll of the Torah can be heavy, but it's not merely physically heavy, it's also heavy with the weight of centuries of tradition. For it represents a scroll that has been carried through generations of our people's history, the teachings of Torah going all the way back to Moses and Mount Sinai, when our tradition began, the words, the values, the stories, the laws, the teachings that you're going to read in just a few moments out of the Torah that remind us of how to make our lives holy and how to be good and how to make our world a better place. Having known your family for a long, long time, I know that taking that scroll from them doesn't just mean holding the scroll of the Torah, but it means taking values that they hold dear, that they hold precious in their lives, and that they care deeply about enough to want you to make them a part of your life as well, so that you will continue not just to hold the Torah tight and to cling to it, as the tradition says, because it will make your life good, but to hold it tight because making it a part of your life will make the world good. And I already know, we all know by knowing you, that you are a person of gentleness and kindness and commitment to the very values that you've learned from Torah, from your parents, from your grandparents, from your community. And we pray that you will continue to live that tradition for many years to come as a part of the Jewish community. And so it's a privilege to pass the Torah through your grandparents' and parents' arms, Lador Vador.
וההוד כי כל בשמיים וארץ כי כל בשמיים וארץ לך אדוני המלאכה וימית נעשה לכל רוב על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים דברים העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים שבט אחים גם יחד, מה טוב הנה מה טוב You're going to go back to your seats. Go sit there. Call you up in a few minutes.
I am reading from the Torah, chapter 19, verses 1 through 3 and 9 through 18. My Torah portion is called Kiddushim. This word means holiness. In this Torah portion, God, or the Eternal One, spoke to Moses and shared a whole bunch of commandments that the community of the Israelites must follow. Some examples are, love your neighbor as yourself, you should be holy, remember the Sabbath day, and honor your mother and your father. One of the most important commandments is that the Israelites are told to love their neighbors as themselves. This is known as the Golden Rule. Many rabbis throughout the history of Judaism have tried to understand the meaning of this commandment. They have found many different meanings to love your neighbor as yourself because it is hard to love everyone with the same love you have for yourself. I agree with Rabbi Abraham Yerzah's interpretation. He says that we are responsible to love other human beings because the one God has created all of them. I think that this means we need to be nice to everyone like we would want them to be to ourselves. It says in the honor code and community of kindness at my school, be respectful to others and use the golden rule. This commandment is still important today because the rule keeps us being nice and having respect towards others. I also think that it is important too because there's so many bad things happening in our world right now, and I think that everyone should understand to love your neighbor as yourself. It teaches us how important it is to have respect towards other people. I chose this verse in my Torah portion to especially study because I think it is one of the most important things in life to have respect towards others.
If you'd like to follow along as Emma chants to us from a section of this week's Torah portion, you can find the blue Torah commentaries in the seats in front of you. And we are going to begin on page 798 at verse 1. For the honor of our first Aliyah, our first set of Torah blessings, it is a pleasure to invite to ascend to the reading of Torah Emma's grandparents, Denny and Mark Bernstein, and Jolinda and Sanford Cohen.
Ya'amdu Aliyah Rishonah. Baruch Adonai Hamdorach Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher barabanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu es Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe Lemor, daber el kol adad b'nei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem kedoshim tihiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohehem. Ish imo ve'aviv tira'u, ve'yet shabtotai tishmoru, ani Adonai Elohehem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Natan Lanu Torah Semes, V'chayei Olam Natan Sotenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Come stand with me.
For the honor of our second Aliyah, it is a pleasure to invite to ascend to the reading of Torah Emma's aunts, uncles, and cousins, Melissa and Scott Bernstein and Charlotte, Julie and Steve Sokolik, and Sophie, Joey, and Maggie, and Laurie and Andy Strickland, and Chloe, Ivy, and Ty.
Ya'amdu Aliyah Sheni.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'karvanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Uvakut's right hand, Eketzir Artehem, Lo Techale, Pe'at Sadeha, Liksor, Balake Ketzir Ha, Lo Tilake, V'charmecha, Lo Teuleo, Uferet Karmeha, Lo Tilake, Le'ani V'lager, Ta'asov Otam, Ani Adonai Lohehem. Lo tiknovu, lo tehahashu, lo tishakru, ish ba'mito, lo tijavu bishmi, la shaker, vehilata, et shem Eloheha, ani Adonai.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
So for our third and final Aliyah on this Shabbat morning, it is our greatest pleasure to invite to ascend to the reading of Torah our batmitzvah, Emma Claire Cohen.
Ta'amod Chava Shandel Bat Chana Adol Ve'Yishiyahu Aliyah Le batmitzvah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Lo ta'ashok et re'acha v'lo tigzol lo ta'alin ve'lo tzahir itahav ad boker lo tekalel heresh v'lifnei iver lo titein mishol ve'areta me'eloheha ani Adonai lo ta'asu avel b'mishpat Lo tisa f'nei dal, v'lo tidor f'nei gadol, b'tzedek tishpot amiteha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We want to wish Emma a Mazel Tov on a beautiful chanting of her Torah portion, and also to thank her brother and sister, Morgan and Blake, who were helpful in undressing the Torah. We want to invite them back onto the bima for the honor of dressing the Torah. For the honor of lifting the Torah for all to see, we invite Emma's father, Jason, to join us here on the bima, and we invite the congregation to please rise.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai ve'ad Moshe Yalai Yalai
For my Haftorah portion, I'm reading from Amos chapter 9, verses 14 through 15. Amos is a prophet. A prophet can communicate with God and give the Israelites messages. A long time ago, the Israelites weren't allowed to read from the Torah. So the rabbis met together, and they didn't want to tell them to just give up celebrating Judaism, but they didn't want to disobey the king and get everyone in trouble. So they decided to bend the rules. They picked sections from the book of prophets to correspond with every Torah portion and end up making a book called the Haftorah. My Haftorah portion is about how God completely destroyed the Jewish people's land because they just weren't being good people and not following the commandments. God says that after this harsh time, then he will rebuild everything he ruined, and it will be a time of safety and peace. This relates to my Torah portion because that time of safety and peace is when the Israelites act like my Torah portion says to, treating people kindly and loving your neighbor as yourself.
If you'd like to follow along as Emma chants to us from a section of our Haftorah portion for this Shabbat, you can again, in your blue Torah commentaries, turn to page 815, where we will be listening to verses 14 and 15.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nevi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem and ne'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'imdiei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
V'shavti at shavut ami Yisrael u'v'nu arim neshamot ve'ashavu ונטעו חרמים, ושבתו את ינם, ויעשו גנות, ואכלו את פריהם, ונתתים עד אדמתם, ולא ינטשו עוד מעל אדמתם, אשר נתתי להם. אמר אדוני אלוהיך, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, סור ככל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, אמר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש
השבת. Amen.
B'nai Mitzvah is a celebration of a Jewish individual becoming a woman or a man when they turn 12 or 13. Bat mitzvah literally translates to daughter of commandment. Becoming a bat mitzvah for me is continuing the tradition of my family. While I didn't have much of a choice about having this ceremony, I do understand why my parents wanted me to do this. First, I think that it's very important for me to become a bat mitzvah because both of my grandmas didn't have the privilege to have a bat mitzvah because women weren't allowed to have one when they were growing up. The first woman bat mitzvah was in 1922 when Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan arranged for his daughter Judith to have a bat mitzvah. Also, although this was a lot of work, I'm so proud that I'm able to read out of the Torah, not just memorize the lines, but actually read the words from our tradition. I know how proud my family is that I am standing here this day. For my bat mitzvah project, I decided to sell PR beaded bracelets and donate the money to Let Girls Learn. Let Girls Learn is a foundation started by Michelle and Barack Obama. The goal of Let Girls Learn is to help girls around the world get a quality education in order to have a good life. From my experience researching about girls' education throughout the world, I learned that over 98 million girls throughout the world don't attend school. In Afghanistan, only 1 out of 20 attend school beyond 6th grade. I'm so grateful that I am able to attend school and live in a country where everyone can go to school. I would like to take the time to thank Rabbi Andrea, Cantor Seth, and my tutor Jody Granoff for helping me learn everything I needed to on time. I would also like to thank my mom for planning my party later tonight, driving me to all my bat mitzvah lessons, and always having my back. Although I don't always say it, I love you very much and appreciate all you have done for me. I would like to thank my dad for helping me with the Hebrew part of the bat mitzvah, always being the person I can talk to about anything, making me laugh and picking me up from my bat mitzvah lessons. Thank you, Morgan, for telling me good job after I read my Torah portion and always supporting me no matter what. Thank you, Blake, for being so funny and cheering me up when I am stressed and just being your cute little self. A huge thank you to my grandparents for always making me laugh and always being someone I can talk to. Thank you to all my aunts, uncles, and many cousins for always being here for me. Thanks to all my friends for helping me get through rough times and being so kind to me. I really appreciate everyone's help. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Emma Clairbear, Daddy and I are so incredibly proud of you. You led your friends and family in prayer with such grace and confidence. You have put forth tremendous effort to prepare for this day, never asking for help, never needing to be nudged to study, and as always, you completely blew us away. I've struggled with what I would say to you on this day. Would I take the opportunity to brag about the many accomplishments of my sweet, smart daughter? Or would I attempt to be funny and go off the cuff? Who am I kidding? I don't do anything off the cuff, and Uncle Scooter got the funny gene. So I chose to focus on 3 words that I think of when I think of you: determined, humble, and kind. Your determination began when you were just a little peanut in your crib. You were the only one of my babies who attempted and succeeded many times to climb out. You were my only toddler who in preschool may have taken a little bite out of a boy who made you angry. And you are my only kiddo thus far who in 3rd grade, thanks to Miss Wolke, wrote a 5-paragraph essay to Dad and me explaining in full detail the reasons why you deserved a hamster. This strong-willed determination fuels you in other ways too. When you see something that is wrong in the world or someone who is suffering, you not only take it to heart, but you put your concern and empathy into action. Through your creative thinking, you have raised money for mosquito nets in Africa, for children with cancer who want to attend a summer camp, and for young girls who deserve a chance at a quality education. You exemplified the golden rule when you created a beautiful kindness rock garden for friends and neighbors to express gratitude and support of one another in light of the anger and intolerance that was occurring in our world. Your families, friends, teachers, and coaches know you as bright, kind, and at times a shy young lady who is thoughtful and caring. This is what I know. I know a little lady who climbed out of her bed because she was determined to get a book off her shelf without help. She acted with purpose, probably shouldn't have done it with your teeth, because she knew that she had been wronged. And she used the power of her words to persuade her parents to change their thinking. I see a young lady who, thank you. I see a young lady who is blessed with quiet confidence and strength, who doesn't command a room because she is the loudest, but will captivate the attention of those around her because when she speaks, it comes from a place of tremendous thought, purity, and purpose. Because of your inner strength and determination, you, my Emma Claire, will change the world. You have always had the ability to look at things differently, to see the world and people around you in a different light. Emma, you have empathy for those who are in need of kindness. You have courage to walk on your own path, even if it may differ from others around you. And you have vision to see beyond what might be accepted by many. You challenge what is presented to you, whether it be expectations at home, ideas and facts presented at school, and Jewish traditions and beliefs that you have studied. You don't accept ideas because they are written in a book or follow a path because it's where others have gone, but you fight for what is right, and I can only hope, as your mama, that you will use that little fire inside you to do great things. As a woman, you have so much power within your sweet soul and huge heart. As we have seen in the past few months, young women like you will move us forward. You will use your creativity, your drive, and determination to be a leader. Maybe even the first female president. Let's hope we don't have to wait that long. So keep climbing, my baby girl. Keep standing up for what you know to be right, and don't ever underestimate the power of your words. And remember, always stay humble, always stay kind. I love you.
I don't think I could follow that, but I'm going to try. Emma Claire, wow, you were absolutely amazing. I was so deeply moved to watch you as a bat mitzvah, now a woman in the Jewish faith, lead the congregation in prayers. Emma, you have made your family proud and teary-eyed once again. I still cannot believe we are standing here today watching you being a bat mitzvah. 13 short years ago, mine and Mom's lives changed forever. I remember that day like it was yesterday. The moment you were born and I first saw you, I screamed with joy. Like today, it was a day neither Mom nor I will ever forget. You were the most beautiful baby I had ever seen, with your long eyelashes and contagious smile. When the nurse took you to wash you in the sink, you started bawling. All I wanted to do in that moment was to snatch you up, protect you, and hold you in my arms forever. But the nurse was right, and you stunk, so I let her wash you. That feeling has hardly subsided ever since, but it became clear in that moment what I would devote myself and my entire life to being the best father I could be. Fast forward 13 years and a couple pounds and gray hairs, and here I am today at your bat mitzvah. What a miraculous day. I think it's one of the only times I've cried more than Mimi and Nanny. And probably Aunt Gay. I couldn't help it though. You did such a wonderful job. Emma, you've told me to make my speech quick and not embarrass you. One of the other cool bat mitzvah traditions, besides having a huge party, is that the bat mitzvah's parents get to brag about how amazing their child is, and you truly are. Emma, you are one of the most wonderful people I know. Whenever you see someone sad or alone, you comfort them. You never cared about peer pressure and following everyone else. You've always known right from wrong. You chart your own path, and I have loved seeing where it has taken you. From raising money to children in Africa, the American Heart Association, and Michelle Obama's School for Girls, to lobbying on Capitol Hill and the White House, and volunteering on campaigns, you have always strived to improve others' situations. It's how you chose your theme for the weekend, women empowerment and helping others. Your compassion knows no bounds, and your potential is endless, Emma. You have always said that you wanted to be Attorney General and then President. I have no doubt you can accomplish that, or anything else you put your mind to, Emma. Always believe in yourself, always fight for what's right, and always help others. When you see a classmate who's feeling down, comfort them. When you see a friend in need, lend them an ear. And when you notice a stranger who could use your help, offer a hand. It's what makes you special, Emma. It's what makes you you, and the world could use a little more Emma in it. As Hillary Clinton said, never doubt that you are valuable and powerful and deserving of every chance and opportunity in the world to pursue and achieve your own dreams. Mazel Tov, my sweet daughter. I am so proud of you, and I love you with all my heart.
Emma, Mazel Tov, you did a beautiful job this morning in leading the congregation, and you were a beautiful prayer leader, and you taught us some really important lessons about a very beautiful Torah portion. I do not always subscribe to the idea that the bar or bat mitzvah always gets the exact portion that is meant for them, but this week that does seem to be true. The verses that you chose to read, and especially the verse that you chose to focus on, the idea of God asking us to try to find a way to love neighbors as we love ourselves, does seem to exemplify so much of who you are. And your parents spoke beautifully about you. And I think anybody who knows you, even for the shortest amount of time, knows that you have just this very beautiful, kind, generous, grateful, and loving heart. And it makes you easy to be around. It makes people want to be around you. But I want to talk for just a tiny bit about something different in your Torah portion that I want you focused on, because you taught us so beautifully. There's no need to say anything more about that. I wanted to lift up that in the verses that you chose to read, in that section, there are 3 Hebrew words that are repeated 8 different times. And those words are a phrase. In Hebrew, it is Ani Adonai Elohechem, which means I am Adonai, your God. So in the holiness code that you read, the verses that you read, every so often, after every few verses, God says, Ani Adonai Elohechem, I am Adonai, your God. And it's a funny thing, because one would assume that the Israelites who were gathered around there knew that fact, knew that God was addressing them, God was addressing Moses. Why does God have to repeat God's self 8 different times with these 3 simple words, sort of stating the fact that God is God? Right, so lots of rabbis have lots of different ideas about why this is. And some say it's because God really wants to emphasize how important these commandments are, and sort of like that God is watching, right, to make sure that you fulfill them, which is one valid idea, one thought. I had a different thought, which is that God is saying, Ani Adonai Elohechem, because God understands that what God is asking us to do in these verses is not always easy. It's not easy to do what your parents reminded you of, to stand up for those who have no one else to stand up for them. You taught us that it's not easy to love our neighbors as it is to love ourselves. And so God, in repeating God's presence so often, I think God is reminding us that God is with us, especially maybe in those times when we are struggling to do what is hard or challenging, but good and right. And I know that you are a person who knows that it is sometimes difficult to do even simple things. It is sometimes hard to have the confidence we need to know that we can move forward. It is sometimes hard to not be afraid. And what I hope for you, I hope that the beshertness, the rightness of this Torah portion ending up being your Torah portion, is that you remember in your heart that along with all of these amazing people who have come here to be with you and be lifted by you and lift you up this day, Emma, that God is always with you. God is with you in the most easy and mundane of times, and God is especially with you when you are trying to discern what is right and trying to do what is right. You are never alone. You always have at least this presence of God who sees in you what is beautiful and good and true. And it's not because you worked hard to get to this moment, even though you did. And it's not because you get the grades that you get or you swim the time that you swim. It's not because of the things that you do or achieve. God sees the goodness that is in you because that's what's there. Because that's all that God knows of you. And that's all that God wants for you. And so my prayer for you on this day is that you keep that idea close with you in your heart, and that it gives you strength, and that it gives you courage for all of the moments that lie ahead. I think you will do amazing things, and I think that you'll probably have a few stumbles too. Just know that regardless, you are in a space and in a place with people who are so proud just to be with you. Just to be in your presence. You are a beautiful soul, and I wish you so much Mazel Tov on this day. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So your celebration is one for your family, for your friends. It is one for our community. Earl Scissors, who is a member of our Board of Trustees, has been in the congregation celebrating with you and your family, and he has a special presentation to make to you on behalf of the congregation.
Good morning. Congratulations. You made it. It's over. Actually, it's just the beginning. Now it's time to get out there and get a job and help your parents out. I'm just kidding, not really. On behalf of the congregation, in all seriousness, you did a great job. It's a huge stepping stone, and I know you're going to do great things in the world. I will present you with some gifts that we have in the back from the cantors and the rabbis and the men and women of Sheremuth, and we hopefully you will use them wisely and achieve a lot in this world. Congratulations. Becoming a bat mitzvah is extra special, and I invite everyone to join me on page at the top of 263 for a special prayer. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come, and may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition, and your words be rich in understanding. May songs of praise be upon your tongue, and your vision clarify a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the Ancient One of Holiness.
So we're now going to begin to prepare to conclude the service. We need to return the Torah to the ark, and there Emma will receive a very special blessing. Once more, we invite the congregation to please rise.
Emma, you stand with a whole bunch of people who are sending their love to you. And I think that you also stand here sending your love back to them. For I have not experienced a bat mitzvah who is so easily able to reflect love and thanks back. Last night, you congratulated Mr. Moskowitz very beautifully for his accomplishment. I think after every single lesson that we had together for 8 months, you thanked me. And it wasn't because at least it didn't feel like it was because your mom said to say thank you at the end of everything. It was because it came from this really beautiful, warm place inside of your heart. You have that ability to draw people toward you with your kindness and your softness and your delicate approach to things, at the same time with that strong will to do what needs to be done. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha is what your Torah portion says, and you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. You have shown us today that you can love and that you can be loved in a very special and unique way. Thank you for letting us in and see a glimpse of that part of you that you'd like to sometimes not be the center of attention. Thank you for letting us celebrate with you today, not just the love that we have for you, but the love that you have inside that shines back onto you. It's an honor with Rabbi Goldstein and with Rabbi Bennett to help bestow upon you a very old and a very special blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Emma, may God always bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
God's light shine upon you and shine through you, and may God be kind to you.
Emma, may that countenance, that light of God that shines through you, deliver to you and those you love a life filled with peace and happiness, and most of all, completeness, a life of shalom. And we say together,
Amen.
Amen.
We're going to continue now on page 283 with the words of the Aleinu.
Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'rodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim hakadosh baruch hu.
We remain standing and continue on page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this moment in our worship, we call to mind all of our beloved dead and mention especially those who have been taken from the congregational community in the last 30 days. Lucille Alexander, Leonora Brandon, Michael Corman, Bernice Feldman, Joel Fine, Marjorie Fisher, Benjamin Gelber, Josephine Glazer, Joseph Glick, Rose Hirsch, Earl Levy, Warren Neckischer, Zelda Rogel, Lawrence Rudman, Harvey Schloss, Herbert Shapiro, Ruth Stone, and one who will be laid to rest in coming days, Molly Burak. Last evening, we also recalled those in the congregation whose perpetual memorial, whose yahrzeit falls on this Shabbat. And on this Shabbat, special prayers are said for Sylvia and Alex Bernstein, Connie and Edwin Foster, Molly and Joe Cohn, Beverly and Walter Morris, and Stephen Morris on the occasion of Emma becoming a bat mitzvah. With the memories of all of those whom we have loved and lost still close to us in our hearts, we turn to page 200, and actually we're going to turn to the back inside cover of our prayer books as we continue with the words of Kadisha Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lamei al-maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha barichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to each of us who remembers. As together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael,
We turn from blessings of memory to the blessings of the Shabbat as we prepare to conclude our service with 3 blessings. The Borei Puri Hagafen, the blessing over the fruit of the vine, marking the holiness and sweetness of this time. The Motzi, in anticipation of the meal that you will share together, and the Shehachianu, a prayer thanking God for allowing all of us to be together. We want to invite Emma's siblings and grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and also Rabbi Howard Kaplansky, who has been here celebrating with us in the congregation. We invite all to join us here on the Bima as we prepare to conclude our service in blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We end with the words of Shechianu Emma that remind us that what we have experienced today is a milestone in your life and the life of your family, and that we are blessed and honored to be sacred witnesses to it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh. Emma, we raise our voices to you as we say Mazel Tov
Mazel Tov!
and Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.